and these work for effective listening as well, eye contact. Culturally, think about your nonverbals because it does make a difference. Eye contact, for example, in the US, we want contact, direct eye contact. What does it mean if someone won't look you in the eye? Oftentimes, we might think they're not telling the truth. Look the person in the eye. Don't stare them down, just look at them. In some cultures, like Latino cultures, it can be disrespectful to look people in the eye. Someone of authority, you want to look down rather than looking them in the eye. So, we want to be respectful of other cultures. Hand gestures. We have to be so careful. What does this mean? Well, we think it means okay. Some countries, it means zero. Some countries, it means money. And others, it's like giving them the finger. You're flipping them off. You don't want to offend anyone. The same with the plus sign. When we want money in the US, we'll do the little shuffle with our fingers. But what does that mean? So it's really important to know what those hand gestures are. Body movement, body orientation, I talked about a little bit already. But again, your posture, and if you've got those arms folded, you're being closed. But be careful that we don't misinterpret the nonverbals. Because I might stand here and, maybe it's cold in this building and I'm standing here because I'm freezing, so I've got my arms crossed. But people might think it's because I'm mad or because I'm closed. I've already made the decision. Maybe it's because I'm tired of putting my hands down by my side or I'm tired of talking with them. So I just want to contain them. There can be various reasons. Yawning is a nonverbal. And when we think about yawning, why do you yawn? Lots of reasons. Usually, if we see someone yawning, we think they're bored. They're not interested. Maybe they're tired. They work the night shift, the midnight shift. Maybe the person next to them is sucking up all the oxygen and they're just trying to breathe. They need to get some more oxygen in. Or maybe it's the power of suggestion. Face it, don't you want to yawn right now just because we're talking about it? So yawning, we have to be careful to not misinterpret our nonverbal signals. Facial expressions. Try to say no and nod. Oh, no. See, I want to start bobbling my head. No, that's not a good idea. Try it. No, that's not a good idea. We're so accustomed to no, shaking our head no, and nodding is affirmative. So, it can make a difference. Space. As Americans, we like our space. This is my personal space. Please do not invade it. If you get too close to me, what am I going to do? I'm going to back up. You've just made me feel uncomfortable. You don't have bad breath or anything, you just make me feel uncomfortable. I'm not used to someone being so close to me. Other cultures, they sit right next to each other. You'll see women or girls, teenagers walking down the street arm in arm or hand in hand. It's, they just have a close-knit culture like that. Sitting together in the back seat of the car rather than each sitting on their own side. It's just, there is a difference in that space expectation. Touch, we do have to be careful with touch today. Is it appropriate to touch someone on the back, on the forearm? You want to be careful because sometimes people will not perceive the intent. And so always err on the side of caution when that is concerned. Appearance, what you look like can make a difference on how people perceive you. Give you an example. So I had another business communication course. This was I think I was a junior or senior in high school, or not in high school, in college, undergrad. And the professor comes into the room. She was in dirty jeans with holes in the knees, an old flannel shirt. She had on a gardening cap. and her hair was messy, and she had paper. She was carrying all these papers, and she put them on the desk, and they were strewn all over the place. And, oh my gosh, I wasn't ready for this class. I can't believe it. I didn't know today was the first day, and we're all just kind of sitting, this was the first day of class, our impression. Oh my gosh, I got to sit through her for the whole semester? Hang on, I forgot something in my office. She runs out. About a minute later, she comes back. I don't know how she did it so quickly, but quick change. She was dressed professionally, business suit. Her hair was back in a ponytail. She had her folders all color-coded and neatly, and she placed them on the desk, and she stopped and she said, well, tell me about first impressions. She made her point. It's, dare I say, 35 years later, and I'm still remembering it. I'm still talking about it. It made an impact. So first impressions and how you dress. If I'm going to, when my kids were little, if I was going to go to the school and discuss something with them, I'm not going to go in pajama bottoms and Tweety Bird slippers, but rather I'll go in whatever I'm dressed in from work, because you are going to have more impact if you're dressed professionally. The same thing around the office. We want to make sure that appearance is important. You go on a job interview, appearance is very important. Everything from not too much makeup, not too much jewelry, not showing cleavage, having socks on. A lot of guys don't like to wear socks, and they'll wear those beach shoes or deck shoes. You want to wear socks. So, just those little things can make a huge difference. Okay, so thinking non-verbally, with whomever's at home with you, or if you don't have a chance today to do this, sometime in the next couple of days, communicate with someone without saying anything. Convey surprise. Does that person know you're surprised? Convey anger. Remember, don't talk, but show that angry face. Or sorrow. You're really sad, melancholy, confused, puzzled about something, or just plain old bored. You're not interested. You're apathetic. How might you communicate with just nonverbals in those areas? And we do it. We do it with our facial expressions. We do it with our nonverbals.